Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas. This is part 2. This is from day 6 till 10. And so I'll go through each day. The first one is, I'll just read it from here just in case I make a mistake. So it's 6 geese a-laying, 7 swans a-swimming, 8 maids a-milking, 9 ladies dancing, and 10 lords a-leaping. Fun. It's great fun. So what I've done is I'll take you through each one eventually, kind of weave it in. What I suggested are blocks, definitely, and a strap. So yeah, we'll have it handy. You can just bring the blocks nearby. Oops. And then we will start. So sit up nice and tall. Find your comfortable seat, whatever that might be. If you want to sit on your heels today, that you feel like doing something slightly different, feel free to do that. And let's close the eyes. Let it all go. Let everything that you've brought on the mat with you, anything that's upsetting, stressful, just push it away. Even those things that you're really excited about. Make this your moment of just being in the present, being completely immersed in your body. So the Christmas is a celebration of the spirit, and everybody's experience is different, or beliefs are different. So it's whatever Christmas feels like to you and means to you. Even if you don't experience it in that way, but how maybe you would like it to be. So let's start to breathe in and out. So our prana, our life force, is our breath. The minute we are born, we start to breathe. And of course, when we die, that's the last breath. So throughout our lives, that's an indicator of being alive. So start to actually feel the breath as it fills the rib cage. Not so much, we're not talking about belly breathing, it's rib cage breathing. Fill that rib cage up. And not just one side more than the other. Try and get both sides to evenly expand. So both lungs. Let's do this a few more times. Take your time here. Today is your day just to be and enjoy. And from here, just if the hands aren't on your knees, place your hands on your knees. And let's do some gentle Sufi circles, which is always a nice way to start the practice, is to warm up the spine. Make them start off small. And maybe it gets a little bit bigger each time. Keep going round and round. And then that's the next inhalation, sit up nice and tall. And then that's exhale, let's start the other direction. So notice how the mind is at this moment. Is it really busy? Is it quiet? Is it in between? So take that mind and direct it to the breath so that it doesn't have a chance to really get caught up in the chatter, the worries, the concerns, the to-dos. And then let's come up nice and tall. Let's transition onto our hands and knees. And blanket's always good for the knees at any point. And once you're on your hands and knees, we're going to press back into a child's pose with the knees wide. And we'll start with the geese or lion. So one of our geese or goose flows, which I didn't know until I was putting this class together, is when you float forward through the, come up and float back, come onto your tabletop. And then exhale, round through the spine and press back into a child's. This is a goose flow. And then inhale, float through your cow. And then exhaling, lift up into that tabletop and press back into your child. So keep doing this a few more times. Let the eyes either stay soft and looking slightly forward, or close the eyes. Easing yourself into the practice. There's no need to rush into it. And then let's take that last exhalation, press back into that child's pose. Open the knees wide, let the big toes touch. Walk your hands a little further forward or a lot further forward and press into the ground with those fingers. Stretch through those arms. Our hands are shoulder just in line with your shoulders, and feel the stretch through the armpits. The armpits are facing downward. And then take an inhale, and then let's exhale. Walk your hands back towards you. And let's come onto our right hip, and we're going to transition down onto our backs. And once on your back, stretch the entire body. Feel that length through the body. And if you need to, if every time you place your hands behind you, you lift up, or you're very tight in the shoulders, you could place a blanket behind your head so that the arms are a little bit higher up, or the hands are higher up. Let's take an inhale, and let's exhale. Bring your right knee into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Forehead to the right knee. And the left leg just stays on the ground. And then reach the arms back behind you. Bring that right leg back next to your left leg. And then exhale. Bring your left knee into towards you. Forehead towards your left knee. And then reach your arms back and left leg next to your right leg. So we're going to do this a few more times. Hug your right knee into your chest. Forehead to knee. And then inhale. Reach the arms back. Extend that right leg. Left leg, the same thing. Now you have an option of that straight leg. You could lift it off the ground if you'd like to make it a little bit more challenging. So let's do another few sets, hugging that knee in, forehead to knee, and then use your inhalation to stretch through the entire body. Let's say another 2 sets. Just keep going. And then one last hug, and then bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself that hug. And little rocks from side to side. And then from here, just let the legs lift towards the ceiling. So we're here for just a moment, lying on our backs. Either flex the feet or push through the ball mounds of those feet. Wake up those legs. So this is quite simple. This is not too difficult for most of us. Just stay here for a moment. How can you stay present? How do you stay present when you're in this kind of, there's nothing much happening? So is it every time you stretch your feet out? Is it your breath that helps to bring you back to the moment? And then from here, you're going to take your right leg and just bring it down
Keep the left leg where it is. Just bring your right leg down about 20% towards the ground. Just hold and breathe. And then take it a little further down. So you're going to find how far you can go. And then maybe it hovers off the ground, that right leg. And then take an inhale, sweep that right leg back towards, right back next to the left. And then take it, your arms are next to your sides. And then take an inhale and exhale that left foot down about 20%. And just pause. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, lower the leg a little bit further down. And then maybe a little further. And those that are pretty strong or have strong core muscles might be able to bring that left heel down just above the ground. And then inhale, sweep, full sweep up. We're going to do another set on the right side. Take a deep breath in and slowly lower down. Just about 20%, and then another. And then maybe another. And then sweep it back up. And then the left leg. Take a deep breath in and breathe out just a little bit. And then a little bit. And then a little bit. So this is all about control. And then sweep it back up as you inhale. And then hug your knees into your chest. Ah, nice. Open the knees wide, big toes touching. Maybe, and bring the arms inside those legs as if you're doing a crow. Grab hold of the ankles or the outer edges of those feet. And give yourself a nice stretch through the inner legs, the groin. So this is a shape that we'll be in later for 8 maids a milking. And then let's place the feet flat on the ground. And let's go do a few little come into some bridges, flowing bridges. Begin with the hand, first measure out. Take your hands next to your sides and walk your heels until you tap that middle finger with the heels. And then take your hands on your rib cage. Place it on until the middle fingers touch. And then take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, the middle fingers will naturally pull apart if you're breathing into the rib cage. And then exhale, you're going to draw the tummy muscles in, draw up through the pelvic floor, and the middle fingers come back together again. So this is rib cage breathing. This is how yogis breathe. Inhaling the best way, the most efficient way to breathe in life, not just as a yogi or in yoga. So do this a few more times. If your fingers don't pull apart, then just practice. Maybe they'll pull, maybe it'll be just a tiny bit. Try and feel that rib cage expand. So this is how we know we're actually breathing deeply, even more than belly breathing. Let's take one more deep breath in, and then float the hands next to the sides. Take a deep breath in, arch your lower back, and gently lift yourself from the tailbone all the way up to maybe the middle back, maybe the upper back, depending on how you feel. So take your time here. Then at the top, take an inhale, and then exhale, lower down from the upper part of your spine, work your way down, ripple down, ripple down, ripple down. Take your time until finally the tailbone touches down. And then as soon as it touches, take a deep breath in. And you can roll the shoulders slightly in, and then exhale, lift up. Each time you get a little bit stronger, legs squeeze in towards each other as if there's a block between the legs. And then once you've lifted as high as what's comfortable, take a deep breath in and use your exhalation to lower back down, rippling down all the way down that spine, vertebra by vertebra. One more set. Take it at your own pace. And then whenever you get down, that's whenever it is, Place the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana, supine Baddha Konasana, and let the hips open. And take your arms to the cactus arms, bend the elbows, backs of the hands on the ground. If that's not working for you, just extend them out to the sides. And let's continue to breathe into that with those rib cages. Inhaling and exhaling. Every time you exhale, there's a drawing up through the pelvic floor, the belly pulls in. Releasing and breathing. And then slide your hands down towards your thighs. Help your legs together. So rather than just closing them, give them a little, assist them. And then let's roll up to our seat and spin around onto our hands and knees. And once on the hands and knees, let's do a few little cats and cows. Take a deep breath in, open up that heart, and exhale round into your cat. Pressing into the ground, starting to warm up those wrists. One more set. And then let's return to a neutral spine. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. First downward facing dog for this practice. How does it feel? Breathing in and breathing out. And just let your head shake from side to side. Loosen up that neck. Maybe you're going to sway. Maybe you're going to bend and straighten the legs. Just loosen up. Loosey-goosey. And then eventually, let's come back to stillness. Let's feel what stillness is like. Is it easy for you to be still? Or do you find you want to move? It's like, come on, let's go. Let's hurry up. If that's the case, breathe through it. Be still. Take it from here, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your left foot in a little closer to your right foot. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Stretch through that right leg. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And sweep it forward between your hands. Lower your left knee down. And so this is where you might say, I need something under my knees. You can always take the mat, turn it over, and reach arms up to the sky. Stretch through those arms. And then lower the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Just warming up our hips. Taking an inhale, and let's exhale. Reach that left leg up to the sky. Stretch through that leg. And then step it forward between your hands. Lower that right knee down. And then let's inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, opening up that chest. And then exhale, lower the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to walk to the front of the mat. Take several steps. So this is kind of getting us into the Lords of our leaping. We're not going to do that yet, but just walk to the front of the mat. Once you're at the front of the mat, take a pause here, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And then slowly lift yourself all the way up to your Tadasana, nice and tall. Reach the arms up to the sky, hands in front of your heart. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Okay, we're going to start our flow. So this is ladies dancing. So I'm going to take these step by step. Open up your hands as if you're holding something in your hands. Elbows squeezing into your sides. This is a moonshine flow. So you're celebrating the moon. It's usually the new moon. So and take a pause here, breathe in, And then keep the elbows in. I'll just turn around so you can see, and open the arms out with the elbows still glued to your sides. Soften the hands. Take a deep breath in. So this is a very gentle, this is like a nice flowy flow. And then sweep your arms back behind you, place them on your lower back, either fingertips down or fingertips up. And then squeeze the shoulder blades. So this is 8 ladies dancing. And then lift your heart up, lean back, the knees are soft, and then inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky and lower yourself down, bend the knees, carry that imaginary thing in your arms. So you have a bundle of something. And palms are facing up, and take a moment here. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then spin the fingers down. Step your right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge with that right knee off the ground just to start, and then we're going to transition. So take your right hand inside your left foot and then spin your left foot until it's at a 90-degree angle. The left toes are pointing to the left side of the mat, and come onto the outer edge of that right foot. So you can adjust. Now if this is too much, just lower your right knee down. Make it a little bit more, easier for you, so it's not too intense. Now from here, take your left arm, reach it back as if you're trying to grab your right foot. Palm facing up, lower your right hip down, and then inhale, lift your right hip up as you sweep your left arm over that left ear. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale, lower your right hip down, reach your left arm towards that right foot, and then inhale, lift back up. Lift that right hip up. So this is a variation of the side plank. And then lower that left hand down. And then left hand back to the ground. Take your entire body and bring it, straddle the right long end of the mat. And let's do some gentle bends and straightening of the leg. And your hands can be on blocks, they could be on your ankles, they could slide across the ground. Make this fluid, and as if it's not about perfection, breathing in. This is such a nice hip opener. Deep breath in, and then let's turn your entire body back to the front of the mat. Spin your left toes forward, back toes turn under, back into that runner's lunge. And then step into all fours. Slide your feet back and walk your hands forward into melting heart. So hands reach, melt your heart to the ground. And make this a little bit dynamic at first. So lift up through the chest, create a wave with the spine, and then lower back down again. Lifting up, drawing the tummy muscles in. Then finally settle into stillness. Exploring the stillness within the body. So I love the flow, stillness, and I love stillness. So there's I think most of us enjoy both. Let's take an inhale, come forward onto our forearms, straighten those legs into Sphinx. Take a deep breath in and let the chest open up and spread those collarbones. Grip onto the mat, press into the ground with those tops of those feet, those big toes. Reversing all the rounding we do during the day. And then come on down and slide your hands right next to your chest, or maybe even further forward, lifting up into Cobra. Once you're in Cobra, elbows are bent, let's do a few little sways from side to side, looking to the opposite shoulder, breathing in and breathing out. If this hurts your back, then come lower onto your forearms. And then let's lower ourselves down and then slide your hands next to the chest. Lift up into downward facing dog. Bring your right leg, reach it up to the sky. And then exhale, lower that right foot down. And then left leg, reach it to the sky. And then lower that left leg down. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, walking to the front of the mat, taking the time, several steps. We'll go to leaping later. Once you get to the front of the mat, take your hands, spin them up, the palms, and lift yourself all the way up into Tadasana. Sweep the arms up to the sky as if you're gathering up that moon into your palms, and then bring the palms in front of you again. Spin the palms up. Take a pause, feeling it. Soften the shoulders down. Inhaling. We have the other side. This is an all-body flexibility flow, but also strengthener. So from here, take a deep breath in and keep the elbows glued to the sides. Open up those arms. Open up those hands. So as you squeeze in, notice how the chest pops forward, pops up. And then take the hands behind you onto your lower back. Either spin the palms, fingertips upwards or downward. Elbows reach towards each other. Take a deep breath in. So this is actually also preparation for swan. And then sweep your arms up to the sky and spin the palms up to the sky, lower down into your forward bend. Knees are bent. Once the hands touch the ground, take a pause here, breathing in and breathing out. Spin the fingertips down. Step your left foot back into a runner's lunge. And then from here, left hand stays inside your right foot. Take your right foot and spin it to 90-degree angle so the toes are pointing to the right long end of the mat. Come onto the outer edge of that left foot. Adjust that right foot until you're comfortable. And then reach your right arm as if you're trying to touch your left foot. Lower your hip down, the left side of your hip. And then inhale, lift that hip back up. Sweep your right arm over that right ear. Stretch. And then let's do that again. 2 more times. Inhaling, lowering that left leg, that left hip down, and then exhaling, reaching up. Actually, it's the opposite. Take an inhale, and then exhale, right arm. I always get mixed up on this side. It's weird. And then lower down. 1 more sweep of that right arm, and then right hand back to the ground, and take your entire body and circle yourself until you're on the left long end of the mat. Feet wide, toes turned slightly in, and bending and straightening those legs. Going from side to side. Ooh. One of my favorite stretches here. Just getting them warmed up, and then turning your entire body so that your right toes are forward, your back toes are turned under, you're in that runner's lunge again. And then step your right foot back, come onto all fours. Walk your feet back, and then reach forward with those arms. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, melt your heart to the ground. Do a few little melting heart flows up and down, creating that wave with that spine. So let the belly pull in as you lift up. And then eventually take a deep breath in, and then melt and hold and pause and breathe. Stillness while breathing. And then take an inhale, come onto those forearms into Sphinx. Extend those legs back, pressing the big toes into the ground. Take a deep breath in, and then open up, spread those collarbones. Looking towards your thumbs. Oh, this side probably feels so much different from the first time you did this. And then come on down, slide your hands anywhere that works for you as you lift into your cobra. Elbows remain bent and they squeeze into your sides. And let's do some little sways from side to side. Let the head look in the opposite direction from side to side. And then lower yourself back down. Slide your hands right next to your chest. Lift back up, downward facing dog. Take a pause in downward facing dog. Just feel the energy that's coursing through your body. And then left leg lifts up, nice and straight. If you're trying to touch the ceiling. And then lower that left leg down. And then right leg lifts. So you're performing for those lovers in this story of the 12 days of Christmas, giving the gift of the dancing ladies. Let's walk. You can take the walk a little bit, maybe 2 steps instead of several steps. And then come to the front of the mat, take a deep breath in, spin the palms up and lift up as if you're carrying that precious gift. Sweep your arms up to the sky when you're in your Tadasana and let the hands float right in front of the heart in that shape of a bowl. Pause, soften the shoulders down. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let it go. Let all the breath just, and then release the arms down. So from here, take your hands on your hips. We're going into our swan. And I'll spin around so you can see it from the front. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other. So the arms are the swan. The wings of the swan is they're resting. So then it's not out. They're not flying, they're just floating in the water. So you might want to find yourself on your, we're going to bring our right leg back. This is a standing balance. Find a spot that isn't moving and then start to lift that right leg up. It might only be a few inches or centimeters off the ground, or you might keep lifting until finally you're in that warrior 3. It's just behind you, even with the hips. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Keep your gaze now downward towards the ground. If you feel really comfortable here, you can interlace the hands, squeeze shoulder blades, and lift the arms up. So this is the standing swan. And then bring the hands back to your hips, lower that right foot down. Woo! And then do a few little hip circles or hip figure eights, loosening up those hips. So we've been doing this all week and I can feel my ankles. Lots of work, strengthening those ankles. Come back to our Tadasana with the hands on the hips, elbows squeeze in. Just take a pause here for a moment. So you know what to do now. You know where we're going. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take your left foot, just reach it back. Keep it on the ground to start. Keep the gaze down towards the ground. Take a deep breath in. And then you lift up as high as what works for you. It might not be very far, and that's okay. Keep squeezing the shoulders, the elbows towards each other. And maybe it comes up as high as your hip. So your torso is parallel to the ground. And if this feels pretty good with your arms, you can always interlace the hands behind you and lift the hands up. Opening up the chest a little bit more. Standing swan. Swan balance. And then hands back to your hips and bring your left leg back next to your right. Woo! So feeling those hip joints, and let's do some figure eights, loosening up those hips. So we've accomplished the geese or a laying, swans or a swimming, ladies dancing, And now we're doing maids a milking. So just follow me. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up to the sky. We'll do a few sets of vinyasa. Forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, step back into your plank. If you need a break, you can always come into child's pose. Knees up or down, lower down, chaturanga, and then inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Lifting and spreading. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Take another pause here. 2 breaths here. Stillness. Inhaling. And exhaling. So to get to the front of the mat, take 2 steps. So come to the right, either foot forward, and then come to the front of the mat, just 2 steps. And then inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause, breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling, arms up, 1 more set. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back, right foot back into a plank. Pausing here, knees up or down. Exhale, hinge forward, roll onto those toes, lower down, chaturanga. Then inhale, I'll do a upward facing dog for this one. You can stay in cobra or sphinx. Come to the tops of those feet. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lower the knees to the ground, open the knees wide, bring the big toes together, sit back to your heels. Take a moment here just to stretch out into a child's pose. Keep the arms active. And then let's walk your hands towards your knees. So we're going into the maids or milking, and I'll spin around so you can actually see me. So you're coming in onto your toes, okay, into a squat with the heels up. Now you have options here of using a mat, or you could sit on a block if you feel this is too much. Open the knees wide so the heels are not touching there. So you're milking a cow. That's what you're doing. Take your hands, make fists. So palms forward, then make a fist. And then place the fist on your knees with the top of the fist reaching up. So the inner edge of your hand. And you're going to feel some sensation in your ankles. Keep your gaze down to the ground with a softness. So soft gaze. And let the breath flow. This is milking the cow, an actual pose. It's a strengthener for your ankles, a stretch for your feet. Ooh, I can feel my feet. Any point you can come out, any point. And then let's actually come out of it, place the hands down. Ooh, sit on your heels. Oh, and sit up tall. Come back to the breath, breathing in. So that stretches, you could feel the ankles, but it also has an effect on your lower back, your legs. It's something that is highly recommended on a regular basis to strengthen, especially the lower part of your body. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. And then we will do another cow later, a version of a cow. It's called cow face, but we're going to spin around onto our hands and knees, or wherever you are, come onto your hands and knees. Let's do a few little shakes from side to side with those hips. Deep. And let the breath flow here, inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to stillness, curl the toes under, downward facing dog.
to stretch, wake up the body. So we're going to pick up the pace a little bit again, and you're going to take your block. We're going to start leaping over. Actually, no leaping yet. Just have your block ready. We're going to practice walking to the, we'll eventually leap over the block. So we're learning how to leap from, float from downward facing dog to forward bend. So we start with 2 steps forward. So bring that right foot forward and then start with the right foot and then come to the front of the mat, forward bend. We're going to stay in a forward bend. Step your left foot back, right foot back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale and exhale. 2 steps. Left foot, start with the left foot. And then come to the front of the mat, 2 steps. And then step back to your downward facing dog. And then starting with the right foot, now it's only 1 step. So step your right foot forward, left foot forward to the front of the mat. Just take a moment here, breathing in, let the legs bend. And then step your right foot back, left foot back, downward facing dog. You'll start to notice how all of a sudden your heart rate will come up. One more time, one step, left foot forward and right foot forward. Forward fold. Whew. Okay, let's step back. Now, taking your block and placing it around about where the navel is, or maybe you're going to adjust it depending on how you feel, but we're going to jump over the block at its lowest level. If you don't want to try it with the block, just push the block away. Downward facing dog, just walk your feet in a little bit closer towards your hands. And just follow me first so you learn how to do this properly. Bend your knees. Look towards your thumbs. Take an inhale and lean forward and jump over the block. Forward fold. And then just step back. You can try not to step around the block, step over the block or jump over the block. Back into downward facing dog. Bring the feet a little bit closer in. Press into those arms. Keep the hands on the ground the entire time. Take a deep breath in. Watch your wrists. Bend your knees first. Look forward. Take an inhale and exhale. Jump over. Now we have to, what gets in our way of leaping is fear. Usually you can do this. Now, if you want to stay there, you can, or bring it up 1 level higher. 1 level. So this is lords or leaping. So I'm not the best leaper, just to give you a heads up, so you don't have to feel like if you're not great leaper yet, then I'm with you, I'm in this with you. Bend the knees, take a deep breath in, and then jump over. It doesn't have to be very graceful as we're practicing. Step back, downward facing dog. And let's do this 1 more time at this level. If you find this easy, then you can go to the next level next. Deep breath in, and then as you exhale, overcome the fear. Don't worry, you'll be fine. There you go. And one last, now try the higher level. I am really struggling with the higher level, but I'm going to try. So 2 more sets, and then we will take a breather, and we'll start to wind down. So you do this at your own pace. You might want a child's pose at this time. That's perfectly fine. Oops. Jerry's doing it over there. I'm going to try. Now it's the fear. I know for me, what's the worst that could happen? I knock the block over. That's it. Oh, I went out to the sides. That was a cheat. I'm going to try it 1 more time. Oh, see? Knocked it over. Okay. It really depends on how you're feeling too. What kind of maybe if this is, a night you had or, so that's a work in progress. We will come back to this. So for those who are watching this recording, this is a live class. I neglected to mention. So I'm going to come back to this in my live class over the new year. And practicing. Let's come into a forward bend, which I think we all need, folding over those legs. Whew. So children do this so easily. Because they're fearless. They don't become fearful until usually the adults, or they get hurt obviously, but usually the adults say, don't do that, you'll hurt yourself. So and even the simple thing of jumping over a block that's not going to hurt you can be scary. So lifting up nice and tall, and we're going to come into cow face. So this is where the strap is going to come handy for you. Take your right leg, cross it over your left leg, and the right knee is over that left knee as best as you can do that. Now, if you can either do one-legged or double. One-legged if you can't get the right cheek comfortably on the ground evenly. If you can't do that, then straighten your left leg. Take the strap. So this is called cow face, the look of the cow, I suppose, the mouth of the cow. Take the strap in your left hand and spin the palm back, and then place that palm in the middle of your back. So these are called archer arms. Take your right arm out to the side, spin the palm to the back of the room, and bring it behind you and grab hold of the strap. If you can hold on to hand, join hand to hand, that's fine. That's what you ultimately work towards, but not all of us can do that. Left elbow is going to want to drop forward. Lift the elbow up in line with your left ear. Take a deep breath in and lean forward. Let the chest lead the way. You might not, barely move here. Now that left elbow, where is it going? If it's dropping forward, which mine is, lift it up again, opening up the chest, squeezing those inner thighs, breathing in. Oh, and breathing out. What a stretch. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out, and lift back up. So this is part of the maids or milking. We're now the cows. And just take the strap, sit up tall, just shake those arms, uncross your legs. Do a few little, shake the legs out. And then take your left leg over your right knee. Double up or stay single. And that left cheek, push that left cheek down. If that works for you, there's no knee pain, then stay in the double. And then take the strap in your right hand, spin that palm backwards towards the back of the room. Give yourself a nice pat right in the middle of the back. And then take your left arm, reach it out to the side, spin the palm back as well towards the wall behind you, and join and grab hold of the strap. Bring the hands as close together as you can, or join the hands. Right elbow lifts towards the ceiling. Notice how one side is much more flexible than the other. This is my flexible side. Take a deep breath in and lean forward as if you're looking over a window ledge. Keep your chin lifted, it's parallel. Right elbow, bring it up again because it desperately wants to drop. It's just, that's what it's doing. So lift it so it's even with your right ear. Keep going and breathe in. And breathe out. Oh, God. I can feel this all the way up the back of my arm. So more of these types of poses also over the new year. And then let's release the arms. Uncross those legs, shake them out, and then let's swing around. Straighten the legs, let's extend. Let's give ourselves let's fold forward. Whew. From here, let's slowly lift ourselves up,
bring our hands behind us. So sit up tall in your Dadasana. This is called Dadasana. Take the hands and let the fingers splay out to the sides rather than towards your bottom. So a little bit of a splaying out. And you have an option here. We're coming into the upward plank. You can either place the feet flat on the ground, knees are bent, or straighten the legs. Straight legs are a little bit more challenging. So you squeeze the legs together, point the toes, take a deep breath in, and lift up. So you might only lift a little bit off the ground, or you might be able to come all the way up so the hips and chest are in line, and just keep your chin slightly tucked rather than dropping back. So keep the gaze forward, breathing in, lift up a little bit higher, push up. This is what I felt a lot this week. Take a deep, and rotate the thighs in, and then lower your bottom down. Fold forward, flex the feet, arm strengthener, back strengthener. And then from here, walk your feet until they're at the front of the mat. Either knees bent or straight, lower yourself onto your backs. Ease yourself down. And then once you're on your back, stretch through the entire length of the body. Let it go. We're preparing for our Savasana. Hug your knees into your chest. So 6 through 10, 12 days of Christmas. 6th day, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Open the arms out to the sides. Let your knees drop to the right. Let the arms open, palms up. Breathing in and out. Yay, yay, yay. We have 2 more days. We've only got, so 12 days, there's 2 more. So then this is part 2. We have a part 3, which will be, for those in my class, my live people, that's going to be on I'll be doing that on the Tuesday night, the last 2. Hug your knees into your chest. Forehead to knees, stretch out those feet, flex them, point them, circle them, whatever you want to do. And then bring your legs over to the left, lower your head down. So we have worked, I think, everything. We did a balance. We've done a squat, Maids are milking. We did a flow, we did dancing. We did a leaping, and then pick your knees back up. There's definitely an art to leaping, and then roll onto your back, hug your knees in, and let's prepare your bodies for Savasana. So extend your feet to the quarters of the mat, any kind of Savasana you want, whatever feels good for you today. And if you're cold, put a blanket on, make sure you're comfortable. Arms are a few inches from the side, or if you like to place the hands. Sometimes I like to put my hands on my ribs, or one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly. And take the next few moments just to be. I will let you know when we're ready to come out. So just let yourself be in the moment, still and quiet.
just continue to keep the eyes closed. Just begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement to toes and fingers, little wiggles. And then closing the distance between your legs. Take a deep breath in and stretch through the entire length of the body. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Rolling onto your right side, pausing in a fetal shape. And then ease yourself up into your cross-legged seat, where we started this practice. And just once you're there, you've arrived, just sit again for a moment. Be still. So Christmas for you could be very loud and joyful and lots of activity. But it can also, there's a part of it that's quiet. Especially Christmas Eve. I remember as a child, you're waiting for Santa to come. And it's quiet, it's so quiet. So and if it happens to snow, it's even quieter. So there's stillness amongst the noise and joy and excitement. So 12 days of Christmas, we did 10. This is our second session, and we have one more after this. 2 more days left. As I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice. Thank you so much for being with me. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. Namaste. I'll see you soon. Merry Christmas, everyone. If I don't see you, but I am here during the day, every morning class throughout Christmas, the weeks. So I'm here teaching. So if you want to slip in, you can take one class. You don't have to do a book of classes, just to let you know. Like if you decide you want to do a Tuesday morning, and you can't do the rest of it, just sign up for one class in the morning. And then of course I'll be here Tuesday night for the next 2, I'll be around. So please join me. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas.